Welcome to Solo Shot First, and today we're going to be having a look at the Migs Mayfeld character from Star Wars The Mandalorian. And this figure is obviously based from the scene on Morak, where the Mando and obviously Migs, they capture that. I think it's called an HCVw A9.2 Juggernaut, but that troop transport, and obviously this character is based on the trooper, obviously of one of the trooper pilots. So I was really looking forward to getting this figure, quite simply because in the vintage collection we haven't had a Migs Mayfeld, which is a bit of a shame, really. And in some respects, this wouldn't have been the figure, I suppose, that I would have wanted him. I would have liked him really from his original look in that Mandalorian. But at least that we are getting this figure on, we are getting a Migs Mayfeld character. And not only that, this I suppose this, if you want to class it as a trooper, we'll have a look, obviously, the figure in more detail. But again, it's a good one if you do want to sort of army build. Obviously, you can just pop the hat on. And one of the other things that I probably would say on this is potential down the line is you may see, obviously not this character, but you may see this particular trooper come in one of those 4-packs. Potentially down the line, sort of for that army building, because it would be simple enough to do, really. But in terms of this card, nice looking card. Obviously, it comes on the thick card stock. Lovely, the Star Wars chase, obviously on the Mandalorian card. The Migs Mayfeld sits on the red name pill, and obviously it's a red backdrop behind the figure, so it is quite striking and makes the figure stand out nicely. You've got the Kenner logo in the bottom right-hand corner. Obviously, the warning in the top right as you look at it. And obviously in the left, the 4+ age group. So quite a nice looking card back. Again, with some of these more recent ones, obviously that image is meant to be taken from Morak. It actually does look a little bit, and I'm not sure this video is going to showcase this in any way, shape or form. It does look a little bit photoshopped. But at the end of the day, you can still clearly see that it is meant to be on Morak. So let's have a look at the back of the card. Okay, so this is VC229. And then obviously you've got the other figures that are essentially sort of part of this wave or future releases. So obviously the Mythrol, Quill, Bib Fortuna, Lobot, even Bo-Katan and Koska Reeves. We've all had already, I think, certainly in the UK here. Not many people have managed to get hold of Axe Woves yet, but potentially, hopefully, that will be coming soon. So the nice, obviously, Star Wars racetrack design with the vintage collection logo there in the bottom right corner, and then obviously all of that legal information. So yeah, VC229. We'll have a quick look at the front of the card again, then we'll get the figure open. Okay, so one final look at the card. And as I said, it's a nice card back, and obviously a very welcome addition that we are getting Migs Mayfeld as part of the vintage collection. But will we see him in any other guise other than in this sort of trooper disguise? I really hope we do. I'm sure there are ways that they can. If they don't want to come up with a completely new sculpt from a tooling perspective, I'm sure there are ways that they can kit bash different figures to potentially give us a nice looking Migs Mayfeld. But said, this is a really nice looking card. Let's get this figure out of the packaging and we'll have a look in more detail. Okay, so here we have the figure out of the packaging, and first impressions, I think it's quite a nice looking figure. I mean, it does obviously resemble to a degree Bill Burr. Is it as the actor, who plays Migs? Is the face sculpt 100%? No, but it's certainly good enough. Let's sort of bring that in. I don't know if you can see that in more detail. Just showing you that. It's certainly a pretty good representation of the figure. Probably more so front on than side on, but it's a nice looking figure from the front. in terms of from the back. Some quite nice detailing here, actually. So you've got the sort of this backpack here, which is obviously sort of attached to the sort of the whole part of his armor, really. But in terms of sort of the colouring for this figure and the look, it looks very, very nice. I mean, you've got the sort of I'd say they're more of a grey blue, really, the boots, but they've got a nice little bit of detailing on, as though it's sort of dirt, a sort of a grey wash on the bottom. The shin guards, I suppose, if you want to call them that, they're nicely detailed, and again, they've got that sort of bluey grey wash. The sort of the pants that he's wearing are that sort of darker brown, and then obviously you've got the light brown and a nice sort of gun belt there. The chest plate armour obviously is a nice full solid piece, and then he's got that sort of red garment depicting his rank on his arm. So overall, really quite a nice look. I mean, I actually quite like the look of this figure. I mean, in terms of the articulation that comes with this figure, again, this is it's pretty much got, I say pretty much, it has got most of the bells and whistles. Obviously, you've got the head that swivels side to side, goes up and down. You've got movement at the shoulders, at the elbows, at the wrists, and there is that hinge in the wrist. There is a swivel at the waist, and then obviously you've got these new butterfly hinge legs. So obviously you can split them quite nicely and get them in some really good poses. Articulation at the knees and at the ankles. It does appear that my one obviously doesn't have the rocker ankles. So obviously this has obviously been, they've used bits and pieces from a different figure for this, but that's a minor issue really with this figure. In terms of the accessories that you actually get with this figure, it just comes with the two accessories. I don't know if you can see that. So you've got the small pistol, which does fit nicely into his holster there. And it comes with this lovely trooper helmet. Not too much detailing on it. A little bit of dirt, a little bit of grime, but it looks very, very nice. Let's see how that looks with how the figure looks with the helmet on. Sorry, now the stand's just fallen away, so I don't know whether I'm going to get this guy to stand on this table. But there we go. Yeah, so I'm actually quite pleased with this figure. I think it'd be a really, really good one that they could army build, if you want that sort of Juggernaut driver. And another thing, again, it sort of you ask the question: will we ever see? This was that sort of vehicle was very, very similar to in some respects to that sort of turbo tank. Will we see anything like that ever again? It does seem it's been quite a while since we've had any sort of vehicles released in the main line. Obviously, as part of the HasLab project, they did the Razor Crest, but other than that, we haven't had anything for a long time. So anyway, I'm rambling on a little bit. So this is VC229. I like this figure. Again, I think it's a good addition to the vintage collection line. So anyway, if you happen to enjoy this video, please hit the like button. And if you want to subscribe, there'll be more videos coming shortly. If you've got any questions or any comments you want to make, please leave them in the comments section below and I'll come back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon, hopefully. Hope you enjoy the video. Bye.